Hello there, ladies and gentlemen! Mole Trap here, coming at you with game number 5. Game number 5 of the semi-final match between GoRush and NaDa. There is NaDa on the left of your screen. Is GoRush wearing... Hold on. Is he wearing... Wait, I gotta go back. GoRush is wearing a badge. I wonder if that's his, like, MSL badge for winning the MSL previously on his chest there. That was kind of crazy. And you know what? If I wanted MSL, I'd wear that badge freaking everywhere, man. I'd go to the grocery store. I'd be in the checkout line. I'd be like, hello. Yes, I'll be paying with credit. I'm going to need one bag, please. I forgot my reusable bags in the car. And by the way, did I mention I'm the MSL champion? That's what I'd say. Did you guys see that too, by the way? Look at NaDa's name. Oh, I didn't go back far enough. Hold on. I went back. There we go. Look at his name. NaDa with like 10 exclamation points. There he is. It's really kind of fun that like they can change their like names for the matches for this game. So like NaDa put that, remember, what was it? Remember 318 or something like that was his name, referencing the date of his match against Uv previously and his other match against Uv. Anyway, it's kind of fun. It's fun that they had a little bit of more leeway back in these days. Later on, they became very regimented. They had to have their same names, I'm pretty sure. And they couldn't say anything in the game. I think GG and PP were the only things they could say. As of like 2009 or something like that. I don't remember when they exactly instituted the rules, but... not sure why either, but Kespo was just a very kind of a, you know, it's interesting that it's a government organization dedicated to video game competitions, right? Video game competitions you would think would be a very fun, lackadaisical topic to have, but at the same time it still was a government organization, and so they still had some strictness to them, and some rules that not everyone agreed with. In any case, we got the map of Guillotine. Excuse me, for the last game here. This is a very weird map, so I'm kind of a little bit hopeful that we see a longer macro game of some kind, that the weirdness of the map doesn't play into it this much, because it feels like it would be a letdown to have this epic series end because of some sort of cheesiness because of the map. But you know, this is also the map that this series started on. This is the same map that we saw for the first game, where it was back and forth, where basically, like, GoRush had an early lead, and NaDa crushed it with just insane micro. Do you remember when he had, like, 2 Marines and 2 Medics, and he defeated, like, an entire continent with just that force? And then he threw away his follow-up force against 6 Sunkens or whatever it was, and then GoRush ended up winning the game. So you know, we've at least seen one crazy game between these two players on this map at the very least. So hopefully we'll see some sparks fly here in the final game. This is only the first semifinal as well. And by the way, I haven't mentioned it yet because I haven't decided. Let me know if you guys, you know, leave a comment or whatever. If you guys have any ideas about, I'm not sure if I want to do a live final or if I just want to do, like, I would still do a finals broadcast thing, but I would maybe just make it one long edited VOD rather than, oh, and look at this, NaDa's stopping a hatchery from going, he's double hatching. You can't stop both at once. They're too far apart. He finally does get a hatchery down. NaDa delaying the 3rd hatchery though for a while is actually could be significant because you need that hatchery at the choke point in order to be able to build creep colonies at your choke point to protect both of your bases. It's because it's a weird map. So, you know, I was talking about, hey, maybe the weirdness of the map might play into things, and it looks like it is likely to have something to do with it. Nice delay tactic there by NaDa to do that, by the way. Very cool. It looks, he was trying to use one drone to distract the SCV while he planted with the other drone, and then he kind of realized he could plant either drone. Well, I mean, he knew, obviously, but... And then he's like, okay, well, you're delaying both by going back and forth, so I'm just going to move them so far apart that you can't actually get to both spots at the same time. So, anyway, clever play by both. both players. Yeah, so let me know what you think about that. The last live finals that we did, we actually didn't have too many people show up to, so which is fine. It was still a great time, but if that means that there's an indication that people don't really want to watch it live, then we might not do it. Maybe I'll still do it. Anyway, let me know if you have thoughts. I guess I'll probably still do it live. No reason not to. Kind of makes it easier, actually, to do it live in some ways. And look at this, see? The creep has just popped! And the sunken colonies are just now being put down as creep colonies. Imagine if he had those colonies already up and they were already morphing into sunkens. The delay tactic, are we gonna see? Oh my gosh, he's actually killed one of the colonies. These Zerglings are kind of running around. I think NaDa is a little bit worried. Oh no, he's not worried, he's waiting. He's waiting for the Firebat and the Medic. He's trying to rejoin his forces together. He needs to be a little bit careful though, there's a lot of Zerglings. They don't... Oh, is he going to get a surround on these Marines? This is so tenuous. Either player could win the game if they win a decisive battle with those forces right now. If he got a surround on those Marines before they rejoin the Firebat, it would have been catastrophic for NaDa. Conversely, though, if he can kill off... Look at, there's only 2 Sunkens. There's only 1 Sunken up. NaDa's going for a break. No, the Zerglings are there. The Firebat is there then to counter the Zerglings back again. He's going to go in. He's going to try and kill off the Firebat. He does kill off the Firebat. Focus fires the Firebat with the Sunken Colony. There's only a handful left. He's going to try and run by again. He's going to run by again. This time he gets 4 Marines by. Only a single medic, though. So that medic is vulnerable because there's not 2 medics to heal each other. But NaDa has run by again, and now again, just as with game 1, NaDa has put himself in a great position to do so much harassment with just a handful of Marines, because he can run around behind enemy lines, behind the Sunken Colony lines, and just wreak havoc with the small Marine force. And GoRush will be forced to deal with it with Zerglings. He cannot make Sunken Colonies to deal with this. And it's because NaDa delayed those hatcheries that the Sunken Colonies were late. Because GoRush decided to put his 3rd hatchery at the choke instead of the 2nd. He's just going to let this die. He's going to let this base die. This is kind of crazy. The hatchery goes down. The Zerglings hatch over here, but he's going to let it die. And I guess he just took too long to make the Zerglings. And now, oh, these Marines are stuck in the back here. NaDa, look at this. He's going to have himself in a nice little pocket in the back corner there. GoRush is going to try and go in from both sides. But the Marines are in such a great position. They take out a number of Zerglings before they finally do perish. Imagine if there was 2 medics there, though. They can form a little medic wall and heal each other back and forth. Hydra's then popping out right now. I think it's smart. I think he needs the lurkers right now. He needs the lurkers pretty quickly. I think he knows he's kind of under a bit of threat. It would be a little bit too slow, perhaps, to make the Melists and try and harass with them. GoRush is going to have to retake his 3rd base, though. Has he made more Sunken Colonies is the other question. Because we saw NaDa do like 3 run-bys in a row for the Sunken Colonies in the first game. In any case, well, the lair has not been slowed down at least. So he's gonna have lurkers out before too long. Can NaDa break though? There is a moment right now when there's no lurkers out. The lurkers are still, the lurker tech is probably still only half complete, maybe 3/4 complete at this point. So there's a little bit of time before those lurkers are out. What is this going on? There's a factory being built over here. So he actually, I think NaDa is anticipating the lurkers, and he's actually pre-building the factory close by so he can get his tanks there quicker. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Either that, or he may just be going for starport tech, and he knows the factory doesn't really mean anything in this situation, and he's just going to be able to float it in for vision, I guess, theoretically. But I think it's probably for tanks, since he knows that there's static defenses there. Okay, the lurker tech is completed. He's building eggs kind of in the far north. Okay, those are, I guess, hidden lurkers for a counterattack. But in the meantime, he needs to be a little bit worried about his choke point being broken. NaDa is looking like he's not going to actually attack in there, though. GoRush has not rebuilt his 2nd base, by the way. GoRush is on 1 base right now. 1 base lurkers. And I think this is kind of a counter all-in, I think. I think those 2 lurkers at the north of the map are meant to be a sneaky attack that are going to doom NaDa. He may put stop lurkers or something like that. He may try and go for NaDa's choke point. There they are. Where are they going to go? And, okay, now he's going to retake that second base. But it's a little bit slow. And there he is. Okay, so he snuck Zerglings out. Some of them died in the process, but he's going to have Lurkers and Lings going into NaDa's base. This is very similar to the strategy we saw him do in game number 1 of this series. Is this series going to end like it began? A single Ling goes in to scout the situation. He sees that there is only a handful of units here. He's going to plant down those Lurkers. They're going to edge in slowly and steadily. The Firebats are very effective against the Zerglings, but not against the Lurkers. They have to close the distance. In the meantime, though, NaDa building a bunker and a turret just outside. He's going for a containment here. But, oh, never mind. I thought he'd snuck a drone out, but he hasn't. Oh, is he going to be able to kill off that turret? No, the tank is out. He's going to, oh, the Lurkers can't decide which way to go. One Lurker's going to die because it's indecisive. Oh, no, is going to get back behind the Sunkens. So, Siege Tech probably being upgraded right now. So, it's a counter-contain. It's a contain and a counter-contain. The Lurkers and Lings outside of his base means that NaDa is going to have a hard time getting out of his base with more SCVs. I'm sorry, with more Medic Marines. And his factory is over here. So it's actually, his factory is not in a good position to go and counter that either. If his factory was in his main base, he could actually get out much easier, but he's not. It's not. So slowly and steadily, these tanks are going to be able to siege out these sunken colonies. What is GoRush's response? Is his response to tech to hive and just make 1 billion sunken colonies in response? No, it is not. He's going to go for an attack. He's brought his containment force back. He's going to try and go for a sandwich. He's going to bring in Lurker Lings on both sides. It's going to be Lurker and Ling bread with Marine tank meat and bunker turret sauce on top. Is what he's going to have here. He's going to try and make the sandwich and go in with units from both sides and just make sure that the Marines have nowhere to go. He's waiting until the absolute last moment, though. He needs to succeed with this attack. Now, NaDa still has a bunch of stuff back in his base, though, so this could succeed. There's 2 bunkers, though, that are going to be hard to break. Here he goes in. He's going with Lurkerlings from the north. He's trying to scare the Marines to the south. The Lurkerlings coming from the south as well. Can he do it? Can he break this containment? He's killing off all the tanks. He's killing off all the Marines as well. The bunkers are still alive, though, doing significant damage with the turret as well. They're able to see the Lurkers, and he actually is forced to back off. He's forced to back off. I'm not sure if it needed to, actually, because the bunker was almost dead, but he does, in fact, back off. He's kind of broken the contain. He's killed off the SCVs. The bunker is burning down, and now he's going to go in with a second wave and kill off that bunker for sure. So he has broken the contain here. He's broken the contain, but at what cost? Does he have enough units to hold off the second attack is the question. NaDa's follow-up force charging in here, stimming in to gather up. Bit of a waste of stim there, but he didn't know what was going on in that situation. It looks like NaDa is just going to try and do a more softer contain now in this situation, not bring over SCVs to rebuild bunkers or anything like that. But this time, GoRush does not have the secondary force outside to come around from behind. He's sheerly in a defensive position right now. Has NaDa made a second base, by the way? It's hard to tell with the lack of pixels on the minimap, but I think he has. No, yes, he has. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Anyway, that SCV that we saw was waiting to make a base at an alternate location, though, not his natural. But GoRush, though, is stuck on 2 bases, for sure. He has not been able to get a drone out. In fact, I'm a little surprised he didn't take the opportunity to get a drone out when he was breaking that contain. May have not been able to have the bandwidth in his brain to think of think that far ahead, I guess. Or he may just know that he needs to stay on 2 bases and push against this because it's such a dire situation. He can't afford to make a 3rd base. He's just desperately trying to make more stuff. Look at this containment, though. A beautiful arc of units. The tanks are there to shell the Lurkers. The Medic Marines are there to support the tanks. I mean, this is Terran play at its essence, at its core. He's even bringing over a science vessel to assist with detection and, of course, eventual irradiation. But once he has the detection there, he won't have to scan or anything like that. He can start taking out those Lurkers. And this is the final defense for GoRush. He charges in. The Lurkers soak some of the damage. They're able to burrow. The Lings go in as well. An absolute slaughter. An ocean of blood has been spilled in that choke point. But in the end, it is NaDa's units walking on water, walking over the blood. Their boots are soaking wet, but they are in the enemy territory. They're going into the main base. The drones are being pulled. Has NaDa done it? I think he has. I think NaDa's come back from an 0-2 deficit. He wanted it so bad to defeat his recent nemesis, GoRush, who's defeated him in the MSL final. And now it looks like NaDa is going to be going to the OSL finals instead of GoRush. He has gotten his revenge for the MSL final of 2 weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen. NaDa has done it. Oh my gosh, it's so extremely rare to come back from an 0-2 deficit and win 3 games in a row in such high-level play against a player who has a winning record against you this year. But NaDa has done it, ladies and gentlemen. The Genius Terran has redeemed himself. In the first game, he had a contain, and he charged in and died to the defenses of the Zerg player. And in this case, he was patient. He was steady. He was deliberate. He got the tanks. He shelled down the units. He got the defenses to make sure that his containment could not be adequately broken, and he has done it. And GoRush only has a couple buildings left. He doesn't want to admit defeat, but he's going to have to eventually. And there he's actually on the verge of elimination, actually. Leaves the game. GG! NaDa has done it! NaDa is going to the finals, ladies and gentlemen. Such disappointment on GoRush's face. The MSL champion is going to have to only wear his MSL champion's badge. He's not going to get an OSL champion pin to go with it, unfortunately. GG, though, to NaDa. Absolutely, look at that. Like I said, it's a feeling of victory and relief at the same time, kind of sweeping across his face there. Just amazing, amazing play there. And again, remember, it came down to, let's see if I can find that spot. Look at this. He's able to force GoRush to be on the defensive from the very beginning and waste resources from the very beginning because these colonies are not finished yet by the time NaDa pushes in. Now, NaDa might have pushed in knowing that, knowing the timing, and knowing that he had an opportunity there. He's also a little bit worried about the Zerglings, so he's gone in early. He's gone in early, so that usually they wait for the Firebat and the Medic, and they go out with them. So he went in a little bit early there, but I think he knew that he could because of that, and it all came back to this. Trying to get the hatchery down. Let's count. Let's see. Let's get a timer here. So he's going to try and put the hatchery down right now at 350, and let's see how long it is for him that he actually delays it. This one SCV blocking hatcheries from 2 drones, 1v2, and wins the 1v2 for quite an amount of time. Finally, hatchery goes down at 4:05. I forgot what time I said before that it was joined it, but it was like 15 seconds or so. 10, what was it, 10 seconds, 20 seconds? It must have been about 10 seconds. So then later on, 10 seconds is the morphing time for the colonies, right? It would have made the difference. Imagine these are 10 seconds later that these colonies are, or 10 seconds earlier that these colonies are set up. And NaDa just had the advantage from here on out, right? So he's able to put this pressure on because those sunken colonies are morphing into colonies instead of sunkens. So again, just really, really cool play, and it's kind of interesting that, you know, I almost, like I said at the beginning, I hope it doesn't come down to one crazy map function, but it did. The fact that the choke point was in a spot that he needed to build a 3rd hatchery, and he needed to either sacrifice his economy by putting a 2nd hatchery there, or sacrifice his defense by putting his 3rd hatchery there. You know, that aspect of the map meant that GoRush couldn't play the build that he was trying to build here, and NaDa was able to put the pressure on early, and it was all kind of downhill from there. Of course, GoRush didn't lose a lot, but it felt like the momentum started with this, that now, you know, NaDa has the momentum and he can push in here, and instead of 3 sunken colonies, it's 1.5 at this point in time, and he's able to get the run by. He's able to kill off these Zerglings with the Firebats, and then ignore the sunken and run by with his Marines. And then these Marines do so much damage. You know, that's where the game was lost. Because those Marines are then able to go in, and 4 Marines and a Medic are able to go in here and kill so many drones, kill 3 drones, some Zerglings, and the hatchery, and they get the hatchery as well. Imagine if GoRush in this mid-game has an extra hatchery and more drones and more money, this game is completely different. This attack right here, where he goes in and kind of does the sandwich, this plays out very differently. If he's got, you know, another 3 lurkers and a dozen more zerglings or something like that. He comes away, look, because right at the end here, he gets spooked and he says, I'm out of zerglings. I don't want to deal with that last bunker. And he actually falls back. And instead of falling back, he could have pushed on. Right? And gone for more of a damage on NaDa's base. I don't know. Something different might have happened. So, beautiful play. Just very smart play by NaDa. He's going to go ahead and take the match. Quick reminder again here. Let's look at the bracket here. NaDa versus GoRush is going to play. Let's see if we can, let's see real quick. Add on another text file here. Oh, it's not working. Oh, that's moving the whole thing. Sorry about that. Oh, maybe I duplicated the whole thing. I'm trying to add another text file so I can move it. It's not working. Anyway, well, you get the idea. I was trying to add NaDa onto this so that you guys could see it, but it's not working. So NaDa is going to defeat GoRush. He's going to be in the finals. He's going to face the winner of July Zerg versus Goodfriend, which I think is going to be pretty epic as well, actually. Goodfriend has been playing so strongly. July Zerg, probably the king of ZVT right now. If not GoRush, you know, GoRush obviously is still up. You know, it's 3-2. NaDa won 2 3-2s. No, actually, they're even because NaDa won 2 3-2s and GoRush won a 4-2. So they're even at 8-8 against each other. So GoRush versus NaDa. Point being, though, GoRush definitely in contention for the top Zerg of this time period, along with July Zerg at this point. But July Zerg versus Goodfriend is going to be a really fun semifinal as well. And then NaDa is going to either play a TVT against Goodfriend or a TVZ against July Zerg. Either of those is going to be absolutely ridiculous. Really looking forward to it. So anyway, thanks very much for watching. Look out before too long for the second semifinal of this series, July Zerg versus Goodfriend, coming to a Moltrop YouTube channel near you very soon. Thank you for watching.